smoked fish pie. I'm going to run through this fairly quickly. You'll need some fish. In a British fisherman's pie, we typically will use smoked fish and unsmoked fish. In about 1/3 smoked fish to 2/3 unsmoked fish ratio. I'm also going for colour, so I've got some farmed salmon in here, I've got some cod loin, and I've got some smoked haddock. It's all cut into pieces about this big, and it will cook actually in the oven. I'm not going to cook that in the sauce. You will also need about half a cup of shallot or mild onion, which is finely chopped. You'll need about a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley, fresh parsley. You can use dried parsley, about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half. You'll need a couple of cloves of finely chopped garlic. You'll need some butter. Here is 200 mils of water made up with a fish stock cube. So it's a fish stock cube made up with 200 mils of hot water, stirred in, mixed in, well done. You'll also need some milk. I'm going to need round about half a pint, but maybe not quite as much as that. So I will add the milk at a later stage. And you'll also need around about the same weight in potato, mashed potato, as you will use in fish. So I've got about 800 grams of fish here, and I've got about 800 grams of potato. You will also need a sizable casserole dish in which to bake this one. Alright? Okay, let's get started. First of all, you'll need a saucepan, and we'll get that up to the heat. 1 second, I'm just going to get a spoon. And today we're going to use Spoonzilla Junior. Spoonzilla Junior has appeared in videos before, but is a little bit shy, so I want you to give him all the encouragement he needs. Let's get this butter thing going on. So the butter hits the heat. Alright, we're cooking. That's rather hot. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Wow, that went off quick, didn't it? There we go. And to start cooling that off, I'm going to get the shallots in there. We're not trying to brown the shallots, and I'm not doing this the same way as I did my fish pie, my salmon and tarragon pie. I'm just going to soften this up slightly in here because that's the texture I want in the finished sauce. I'm going to take that off the heat for a sec because I want to get some flour. Alright, one thing I neglected to mention in my ingredients list was the flour. And what we want to do is get in there with about 2 generous dessert spoons of flour and get that mixed in. Keep it stirring, and then at this stage you don't want anything to turn dark. You need to be adding all your fish stock and give it a whiz. Looking good. Keep it moving. You don't want any lumps in there. Alright, so at this stage you can see it's starting to thicken up. This is the time when we can add a bit of milk. And give that a stir. And you want a fairly thick roux sauce. Add a little bit more milk if you need to. And then you're kind of looking at a drop-in consistency somewhere around that of double cream of double cream. I'm going to now pull that off the heat, and in goes all my parsley, all my garlic, give that a good old stir, and this also has the effect of cooling down the sauce, which we don't want hot. So there you are, so it's looking rather porridgey, which is what we want. That's gorgeous, that's just about right. So that's the sauce. And now we just need to allow that to cool for a while, and then I'll show you the last stage before we stick it in the oven. Right, an important stage now is to give it a taste, because this is your last chance to adjust for flavour. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's bang on. Ever so slightly salty, so because the fish is going into it, the smoked fish is slightly salty in and of itself, so you're going to have to kind of imagine what it will be like as the finished dish. I'm going to add some black pepper to this. You add as much black pepper as you like. I like lots of it. And a couple of turns of salt. So there we go. That's going to be just about right. So now, to further aid cooling it off, I'm going to now decant that into the into this baking dish, and I'll adjust the camera angle for us. Yeah. Okay, let's get that decanted into there. Try not to make a mess of it, like me. Helps if you've got a handle on your pan. This has got handles on this are too short, but it was a really good pan for demonstrating with. So there we go. Get that in there, and that will have the effect of cooling it down. I like to leave my parsley in fairly large pieces. I don't like it chopped up too finely. It's about delivering a little flavour punch, and if you chop it up too finely, it's a little too homogeneous. So into that now goes the fish. I bet you were wondering when that happened, didn't you? So in goes the fish, and mix it around in that gorgeous sauce. And that is just about right. Now what will happen is, as that cooks, the fish will ship out some of its moisture, and that will form a nice saucy mix in there, rather a bit less like porridge than you see right now, because this is a dish you eat hot. And I can assure you, boys and girls, that this is absolutely delicious. Right, the next technique now is for the let me take that away. Is for the potato, and the trick here is getting the potato in without disturbing the contents of there. So the way I do it, I like to use a rice paddle like that, and you see what I did there? I picked up a piece and then I went round the rim like that. Yeah. So let's do that again, and we follow that around. Be careful not to drag your ball off this worktop when you do it. Alright, make your mashed potatoes in the normal way, the way you like them. Season it how you like it. But actually boiling up potatoes was slightly beyond the scope of this video, so I left that stage out. We all know how to boil a spud, don't we? There we go. And there's no reason why you can't use your favourite potatoes. I find the flowery ones like Maris Pipers, King Edwards, if you can still find a King Edward around, very good. Willier's alright. So the next stage here is, where's my fork? There it is we've got it more or less there, and then what we do is we tease it away from the edge towards the centre with the fork. See where I'm going with that now? See how that works? Towards the centre, patching up that hole in the centre without pushing everything down and into the sauce. That's the secret of this one. Make it look beautiful. Right, now you can do your design around the edge whichever way you like, but I rather like it looking a bit like that. Get all the fork tines running, leaving nice little ridges in there. The good thing about these ridges is that they crust up nicely as the pie cooks, and anyway, you'll see it in the finished pie. So there we go. What I like to do now is, oh, waste not, want not, boys and girls. Waste not, want not. Get the bit. Just worked out right. That. Look at that. There we go. And now all we need to do is clean up the edge of this pie. And what I do, I just grab a bit of kitchen paper and do that, because I want it off the edge. I just want it to look a bit nicer when it comes out of the oven. Okay, so there you see it. That is ready to bake, boys and girls. So how long? Well, it's a piece of string. We need it in there long enough for the fish to cook, and bearing in mind it's a fairly sizable dish. So I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to put it in there for 30 minutes to start with, and then I'm going to check it. I suspect it will need somewhere around about 45 minutes to an hour to bake nicely. Alright, time to check. I checked it at 30 minutes and again at 45, and it went for the whole hour. And that, boys and girls, is what it looks like. How about that? Right, now for the reveal. Right, let's cut into this bad boy, shall we? Look at that fluffy mash on top. That's just about right. Let's lift some of that off. Get some of that lovely fish in sauce right on there. So there you go. Fisherman's pie. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to follow my channel, please subscribe and be sure to click the bell icon to receive notification of all my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.